You caught me taking my belt off. That is because I just ate a bunch of Chipotle really fast and I drank a soda pop, okay? Don't tell anyone I drank a soda. That's our secret. And that's what happens when you have a relationship with your father. You keep secrets, okay? Because I'm your stepdad and I mess a lot of things up, okay? So don't be like me. Don't chug burritos and slurp on soda. Anyway, hi. Look at us. Look at this. You should be proud of your stepdad, okay? Cowboy's giving hugs because he's excited. We're in the studio. Okay, it's not really a studio. It's literally a chunk of my living room that it's the most aesthetically pleasing. But we're not here to talk about it. We are, actually. I'm really excited. I think you can see my body, too. And, okay, sorry. Okay, my beautiful boy is like his father. And now that I'm your father, you're going to be like this, too. We kiss. We're kissers. We like to kiss all the time. Why would we have mouths if we don't get to go on things? Okay, but just like he did, I consented. Okay, consent is important. Don't get that wrong. As my child, you need to understand that consent is very important. Consent is sexy, dude. You can't spell sexy without consensual engagement in one another's bodies. But anyway, Cowboy, be down, bro. And please don't knock over any wires. Okay, but you love him, and I love him. What are we talking about? We're talking about. This is the next episode of the Urban Stepdad Podcast. Me, you're the host, your urban stepdad, your papa, here to help you. Sam and Pink, and of course, our family dog, our cute childhood boy, Cowboy, little cutie pie. He loves me, and so now you see this is what we live like, okay? And now that you live here because I legally own you, which is a lot of responsibility, honestly. And I feel like I messed the paperwork up. I think I changed your name to Cutie Batootie. But anyway, hey, he just farted and it smells terrible. So we're going to cope with that because today's episode is all about coping. I actually don't know what today's episode is about due to the fact that I'm really bad about preparing for these things. And I think it's exciting. Okay, I don't read what you guys send me before I answer it because as a father, what am I going to read your mind when you have a problem? No, you're going to come to me and I'm going to give you honest, in the moment, unprepared advice. Because a dad who prepares is a dork. That's a dork dad. And I'm not a dork dad. I'm a cool dad. I wanted to show you my feet real quick, okay? Because I'm not, look at that. You see that? Check them out. I can curl. I can give you a thumbs up with that bad boy. I'm both. I am dual toe talented because your dad is better than the dad that left you because you don't have a father. You don't have a father until you found me. Anyway, if you're new here, welcome in. My family is slowly growing. Yeah, having to buy groceries for the first time. I keep my kids underfed and overloved. And my microphone is opposite of me. It doesn't have ED, and it just likes to rise randomly. So we're working on this together. But hey, I have an intro song. Yeah, this is a long intro. Cue the intro song. What do I normally say? Well, okay, I gotta get radio host about it, okay? I'm a little nervy. Can we talk about that real quick? It's my show. I can do what I want. If I want to take forever on the intro, well, gosh darn it. Suck an egg out of me. I'm a chicken. Anyway, I'm nervous. Not because you can see me, but because I love you. And because you can see me. There's a lot of things going on here. But anyway, okay, back to cueing the intro. Thanks for coming in. I'm your stepdad, and I love you. And just because your original dad doesn't like you, and he thinks that you're the wrong sperm to swim, well, I'm glad you swam. Okay? It might have been a terrible breaststroke, and gosh darn it was hard to look at, but you made it to the finish line. And now you're here, you pay taxes, and you hate your job, and maybe you don't really like your friends. Maybe you're scared of the future. What's not scary about the future? Me! I'm not scary about the future, and you're my child now, so things are all good. But what we do around here is we groove out to some gospel, okay? Until I get in trouble for license stuff, and then I have to figure that out. But we're skating the line right now, so we're just going to listen to it. So anyway, cue the good times, cue the music, and let's start this damn thing, okay? Yes, see you on the other side. See, I was prepared. I knew what I was doing. I'm going to kiss you the whole time that we talk. Music. And welcome back, child of mine that I love and coddle and take on trips to very affordable places so I can spend all the money I make on me. And then you're going to hate me for that in the future and be like, why didn't my parents give me enough? And I'm going to gaslight you and tell you it was hard. It was so hard, you know, like Papa needed that watch. You didn't need to do ballet. Honestly, too, your knees are kind of jacked up. Have you seen your knees? What's going on with that? I love you the way you are, okay? You're my child now, but your knees are atrocious. Atrocious. Atrocious? Atrocious. Yeah. It's hard for me to speak when I'm looking at them just gnarled up little balls of knee that you're disgusting. I'm just kidding. You're not. You're a cutie pie. Anyway, we're here to give advice because that's what dads are for. Okay, and we got a banger here. It's kind of a long one, okay? And it starts with Hi Poppy, and I love that. I love that. I'm going to say it again. I love that. Because I am your urban stepdad, but I'm not just your stepdad. You're calling me Poppy. I've made it. Mustache and all. But okay, again, this is a real name. So if I don't call my kids by their real name, because that's what boring parents do. I give you nicknames. So please, when you write into the show, give me a fake name, or I'm going to have to root and toot and kick your boot, and also use my imagination, which is very taxing because I have a tiny brain. But your name is going to be Butterscotch Polly Pocket Butthole Butter. We're going to shorten it up to just Butthole Butter. So anyway, Butthole Butter is asking us, hi, Poppy. I am looking for some advice on how to console a friend that is going through a hard breakup where neither party did anything wrong. We're already lying to each other. This is me talking now. We're going to take a little break. That's a lie. We're already lying. Okay? So we're going to say that. Okay, I'll continue. Done anything wrong. They just grew apart. One faster than the other. Okay? My friend is still in love and misses feeling loved by his now ex, and I want him to feel how much me and our other friends love him and are here for him. He has had past trauma where love was a word used against him. That sucked, dude. That happens. And was twisted and betrayed. So how do I make him feel loved? I know how much we do love him without using the word. Love your videos and podcasts. Thank you, cutie pie. Hope you find the time to answer this. Thank you. Well, lucky for you, butt butter. I removed whole, because butt butter's cuter. And butthole butter sounds like you should go to the doctor. And maybe you should. What's itchy, my child? Are you an itchy child? Are your genitals weird? And you're just like your dad. But anyway, okay. We got a lot to pull apart here. I feel like, in the best way, this is something a lot of people go through. How do we console a friend who just went through a breakup? And there's nothing terrible that happened enough for them to have an excuse, right? It's like, because if someone were to run you over and then sell your kidneys to some random dude who doesn't even need a kidney, he's just greedy and wants 3, you could be like, yeah, dude, Terry sucked. He ran me over and stole my kidney. Good riddance. But if it's just, I really love them and they just didn't work out, that hurts. That's a hard one. But I just want to say real quick, for any breakup out there, I hope you understand this is important, and it doesn't ruin love. A lot of people, when I say this, they're like, well, that's not romantic. Hear me out. It's okay. It's just another person. And I love people. Don't get me wrong. All my little honeys, all my exes in the past, sneeze on that thing because you a cutie pie. You're like Peppa. You make everything better, but I don't need you on everything, and I don't need you, forever, okay? It's just a person. So please remember that. Take people off a pedestal, dude. Just because you broke up with somebody, don't mean your life is over. It honestly means that now you can go do other things and meet other people, which is pretty cool. Relationships are beautiful, and they should be nurtured, and they're fantastic. But just like anything, there's positives and negatives to it. So if you are going through a breakup, focus on the new freedom you have in certain things. Think about, maybe I'll find somebody better for me. Okay? Too many of you are stuck up in your heads thinking they were the one. What? Because they gave you a handy and they French kiss better than your 3rd grade ex? Dude, no one cares. I get pretty good handies. Dude, life is easy. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm losing the plot here. Okay, I don't give handies. I don't. I've tried. I wasn't. We don't need to talk about me and handies right now. What I was trying to say, okay, now that I'm flustered because I said the handy thing, is ain't nobody all that special. And you need to have breakups to learn what you like and don't like, okay? So let's rephrase this. He's gonna be fine. Let him know that. Honestly, kind of tell him he's being dramatic. It's being dramatic. Dude, love lost is another love found, baby. Go out there. Kiss a stranger, dude. A lot of people take breakups really serious. And you should feel them and you should like process them. But you're not going to lay on your deathbed. At least I hope not, dude. I hope you're not one of those people who lay on their deathbed. Sarah, she was the one. Dude, this isn't a movie. Life isn't a movie. They don't poop and pee in movies, and you probably have a little poop in you right now. So chill out. Don't be so serious, okay? But, okay, I'm doing a bad job on this. I'm just going on a rant. Okay. I'm yelling at you. We need to be talking about how you console your friend. First one, tell him it's going to be okay. Okay? Going through a hard breakup and neither party did anything wrong. Yeah, people grow apart. You know, all this stuff, realistically, I just want to... Okay, let's make a good point here. If your friend is coming and reaching out to you to say, hey, how do I get over this breakup? I'm not feeling well. Can we talk about my breakup? Then yes, talk about the breakup. But don't bring it up to him. Because the major thing with this question alone is I'm sorry, but you're not going to be the one who gets him over the breakup. He has to get over the breakup. And he's going to do silly things, and he's going to take a while probably, and he's going to learn, and he's going to grow, and he's going to be fine. Okay? My friend is still in love and misses feeling loved. That's the hard part. So, yeah, a lot of people in breakups aren't really sad about missing that person. It's feeling wanted, feeling needed, having that in their life, having that completeness, okay? But I used to be this way. I used to be so strung up on needing to be in a relationship because it felt loved. But the thing is, my relationships were messes. And the only thing that was missing in my life in general was not a girlfriend or a lover or some handy I was giving, okay? Shout out to my hands. They're big. They're good. I don't know. I've had a lot of practice. I've been lonely. But more importantly, I didn't love myself. And I'm pointing at you because I can kind of see my reflection in the lens. So this is a one-on-one conversation, but you're invited because you're my family now. But yeah, I'm also looking at you. So if you get out of a breakup and that feeling of I want to be loved isn't there, take it, sit with that, and realize it's not because you don't love yourself. Okay? The biggest thing in a relationship should be two whole people, not half little craggly, messed up, limpy people. It should be two whole people who love themselves, creating a life they love together. Okay? But it should be okay that if one falls off, yeah, you might have the memories and you might miss and kind of wish they were there sometimes, but you're pretty good and you're going to be okay on your own. So don't date somebody if you're not in love with yourself. And that doesn't mean that you have to look in the mirror and say, Romeo, Romeo, maybe jerk me off more. No, don't be doing any of that, okay? Because that's crazy. But you should look in the mirror and be like, I love that guy. He's cool. I love that lady. She's awesome. And then also breakups won't hurt as much anymore because you're not dependent. This sounds awfully dependent to me. Okay, and let's talk about the trauma thing. So he had past trauma where love was a word used against him and was twisted. So you should say you love him, but at the end of the day, love is a word. Okay? A lot of people get really strung up on the love word. Okay? Again, it's a word. It's a word. The actions of your lover is what love beyond the word is. Okay? Anybody can say love, dude. Some dude, look, think about it. Anybody can use the word love. Free speech, baby. Like, you could hit me with a tire iron, call me a little sissy baby, pee on me, light me on fire, and the whole time you're doing all this weird pee fire stuff, you're saying, I love you. God, I love you so much. It's a word, man. So words only really matter when they're followed up by the action of it, okay? So maybe tell him that. Like, dude, love wasn't the problem. Just these people in your life were just turds, and they threw the word love on there. It didn't matter. It wasn't love, bro. Don't, stop falling in love with words for the love of God, okay? For the love of God, stop falling in love with words so much, dude. It's a word. It's a word. Fall in love with actions. Fall in love with purpose. Okay? I don't want to have to shake you because shaking babies is illegal. And you're now my child. But yeah, man, don't do all that. Okay? So that's how it should be. Educate your friend that love is just a word, and he should look at all the actions of people. And if people mistreated him, they didn't love him. So don't let that taint what love is to you. Okay? Also, people can love you, but just be really unhealthy, bad people. Ever thought about that? Not everything's black and white, dude. Most people are little gray, little icky little goblins of splooge and ick. Like they're just complicated little things, and sometimes they morph into really hot things that you poke and touch and love, and they say the right thing. But people are messy, man. And so if you're holding on to something and you're giving it that much power, I think you need to sit down, man. It sounds like he needs to be single anyway. If he's not letting his friends say I love you, and then he like goes on a tangent about like, don't do that. My mom used to throw water on me and call me a little weird walker boy because I had a weird walk. Don't say you love me because she said that word. Homie, therapy, self-love, and go for a walk. Okay? If you don't let people just say I love you and you have a bunch of stuff connected to it, you got work to do. You got work to do. And that's okay. I used to be like that too. I don't want to use the word love. I love everything. I say it all the time, dude. I love a dead squirrel. You could throw a bunny, like a little demon bunny, a little vampire demon bunny, and he's biting my ankles and he's telling me, he's just saying that. I love him. I love everything, okay? It's a word, man. But like, I show love through the things I do, for being there for people, for helping people when they're down, for supporting people, for the long conversations, for the listening, for all these things. That's what love is, bro. Love is not a word. Love is a bunch of actions. So throw that one at them, okay? Also, too, this might sound crazy, but you're allowed to tell your friends they're being dramatic. Stop being a coward with your friends. Friendship isn't cowardice. A good friend will sit you down and be like, hey, Todd, it's been 3 months. Becky smelt bad. We got to get over this, bro. Okay? Get him out of his little dungeon. Tell him you love him until he shuts up. And just, be the tough thing that he's lacking. Okay? I'm only saying this because I needed that. And so many people would give me like the treatment, like they'd be like, oh my God, that sucks so hard. But no one ever said, hey, maybe you're actually bad at dating. Maybe you're the problem too. I had to do that for myself. So now that's what I do for other people because I needed to hear it. Something in my brain snapped one day when I started this whole get better thing I'm doing. I just had that conversation with myself. And everyone needs to have the conversation with himself. But it is nice to have a friend that's like, dude, you're being a dork, bro. Like, this person wasn't Zeus. They weren't made of gold. They weren't the perfect person in the world. They weren't made for you. Like, I'm sorry. I'm going to break this to you real quick. Nobody in this world was designed in a laboratory to be the perfect match for you. That's some story time stuff that Hollywood sells to make you feel less of a person, okay? Because they want to sell you diamonds and flowers on Valentine's Day, okay? There's probably 1 million people out there that I would have an awesome time with. Just have an awesome time with them. And if you really like somebody, like them. Don't put all this pressure on it. That makes it weird and it makes it dependent. And you don't need to be dependent. If you can't have a good time being alone, you shouldn't date anybody anyway. Okay? So anyway, I'm kind of using, I don't know if this is the best advice I'm giving you. I'm going to try to do a quick little shooting booty. You know what I mean? Just shooting booty. Just say it real quick. Okay? So what's my true opinion now that I've got my rant over about this? Okay? Your buddy needs to take a step back, and it's cool to process this. He can sit and process it. But if you're processing a breakup that didn't end in some wild catastrophe, like a Final Destination level tragedy happening to your loved one, if you're upset for more than 6 months, you need to grow up, and I'm sorry. Life is too short for you to cry over someone else that long, unless it's like they lost their life, again, to like a pine cone hitting them at 700 miles an hour because some baseball player was just hitting some nature for fun. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's some crazy movie type death, it's just get over it, man. You're honestly probably prolonging it for attention. And yeah, so that's another one for me too. Breakups aren't that big of a deal. You guys need to chill out. All over the world, you need to chill out. Okay? Relationships should be like 10% of your life. I say it all the time. You're a big blanket. You're a big, beautiful quilt with 1,000 patches on you. Some patches fall off. You replace them with new ones. It's your job. You're the quilt maker. Make this life beautiful. Understand the quilt. You turd. Okay? Rebecca, Kevin, Mark, whoever the hell you used to make out with in your bed is not your whole entire blanket. And honestly, as you can tell, it really aggravates me. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, dude. There's so many beautiful people out there. It just didn't work out. Like, why is it that intense for you? It just didn't work out. It's okay. And I'm more talking to old me, because old me used to crash out, dude. Yeah, I was banging heads on cement walls. Yes, I socked this. Rebecca. No. And I just go like, damn, that was fun. What I learned from it. Yeah, maybe that's another one too. Ask him to sit down and learn from the lesson. I'm going on a rant again. Somebody put me down, man. I'm bad at this. I'm making a lot of statements here. So yeah, let's just do top 3 things you need to do for your buddy. Say you love him. Say you love him. Say you love him. If you love him, say you love him. Okay, that's the biggest one here. Honestly, if it goes on for too long, sit him down and say that. In the nicest way you can. Hey man, I love you, but this breakup thing, it's consuming you. And I tell him to listen to this episode. How about that? You know what? All of this aside, screw it. Don't even talk to him. Send him this link. And I'm talking to you now. You're in this deep enough now. This one's about you, buddy. Hey, your boyfriend or whoever, I don't know why I'm assuming it's a guy. Girl or guy, whoever you are, whatever you pee out of, dude, it's going to be fine. You're being dramatic. You're being a little dramatic. They weren't that great. They pooped and peed. They probably smelled sometimes. They probably said mean things to you. They weren't perfect. They're not sculpted from the heavens. You're cool. You're good. Go bowling. Go do something. Go pet a dog. I don't know. Go outside. You're going to be fine. It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep, dude. It ain't that deep. You know what's deep? My ass. And you're not in it, so I don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So like, just, you're good. Go laugh and smile. And let your friends say they love you, man. And honestly, I'd recommend therapy, because if you're letting the word love have all these other meanings to it, you're really missing out on what love is really about. So, because love is forgiveness. And I think you might need to work on that. Forgiveness and understanding, because it'll set you free, brother. It'll set you free. Okay? Anyway, okay, cool. I honestly hope that helps. I'm not sure if it will, but we're going to move on to the next one. So thank you, Butthole Butter. You were saying your full government name. Okay? So, anyway. But thank you for that. That got me thinking. Okay? So let's go to the next one. This one's from John Kane. Again, oops, I think that might be a real name, and I just broke my cardinal rule. So we're going to call him Coin Jane. Yeah, this is Coin Jane. And they write in, how to make friends. Okay. This might be a hard one for me to kind of describe, because I never shut up. I'm Italian. So honestly, I'm going to say talking. You should talk. It's how you make friends. I think you should talk. Also, this is entirely dependent on so many things. So the first step of making a good friend is be nice. Just be nice. Be a nice person. Don't be a pushover, because that's not even nice. A lot of people have that construed. So like, being a pushover isn't nice. It's annoying. Pushovers ruin the world, actually. You got to have a little backbone, man. No one likes a pushover friend. So don't be a pushover. Stick up for yourself. But what I mean by being nice is like, hold doors open, say howdy, listen when people talk, check in with people sometimes, you know what I mean? Work on that. Just be kind, man. Be a giver. Just hang out, be funny. But also, too, another thing about making friends is you have to be social. You're not going to make friends by doing nothing or not going nowhere. Okay? I would recommend joining some type of group. Or if you're really into something, even if you're into video games, man, get a game that's a public lobby. Go out there and talk on the public lobby. You'll probably find someone who thinks you're funny or insane, and they like insane, funny people. They just like insane people. And that's your crowd, you know? But it's more important. Okay, real quick before we get in on this whole making friends thing. It's really important to like your friends. And what I mean by this is, from my past and from a lot of people I know, they care more about liking, like, do they like me? Am I liked by them? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Am I making sense here? More people care about, am I being accepted by them? Like, do they like me? Are they talking to me? Rather than, do I actually like their company? I know that might sound a little weird, but a lot of people live that way. Well, they're surrounded by people they don't like because they just don't want to be alone. Like, you don't actually like that person. You just put up with them. And I think that's really important because you're limiting your life that way. You should surround yourself by people you like. So when you go into this process of making friends, listen. Become a good listener. Really look at what they do, their actions, really talk to them, get to know them on a deep level, and then decide to be their friend, Because some friends, you're also going to have friends for different reasons, seasons, and a lifetime. Shout out to my mom. She taught me that, and I love that rule. So some friends, you're not going to be super close to everybody, man, and some are going to go, and it's fine. Again, back to the breakup thing. People come, people go, but you don't. So be your own friend first. Learn how to be your own friend. But also, too, putting pressure on it is going to make you more alone. Putting pressure on anything ruins stuff. So don't put pressure on it. Just be nice and go out there and join a community or something. If you like to read, go to libraries sometimes, man. If you see someone holding a book, be like, hey, what are you reading? People love being asked about themselves. So just go ask people about themselves, okay? It's a good way to get your foot in the door. But when it comes to making friends, you have to communicate. That's it. There's no secret rule. I'm not going to have a book for you where it's like, wear blue jeans on Tuesdays and go to Arby's. Everything's going to be okay. No. You have to put work in. Being a friend takes work. You have to talk to people. You have to put yourself out there. You have to say hi and howdy. And as an adult, a lot of people say making friends is kind of hard, but it's also not, because hear me out. 99% of people go through life and they don't even say hi to a stranger. They don't talk to strangers, and they sit there and go I wonder why I have no friends. People like that energy. So many people are not used to even having people say hi to them. So if you're one of those people who smile in a room and you say, hey, how are you? What are you reading? I like your shoes. Go to a concert and just say out loud, I love this band so much. Someone's going to be like, me too. And then congratulations, a conversation started. Okay. What's going on here? Sorry. I'm a businessman. Okay. I forget to put my stuff on mute. So that's on me. But my point is basically, again, I'm gonna butcher this into the ground, okay? Like a little meat packing boy. 'Cause sometimes I do. I pack meat. I got meat, and sometimes I pack it into consensual partners. But okay, you have to talk, dude. If you want to make friends, you have to talk. Okay, life isn't a silent movie. You can't just wiggle, and people are gonna like you. That's also out of date anyway. Any comedian that just wiggles for funny isn't funny, and I don't like them. I'm not gonna like you either. Stop wiggling so much. I wiggle all the time, actually. So I'm kind of being self-hatred right now, but it's not true. I love me. Me's pretty cool, man. My dog is cute. It has nothing to do with me. He's his own thing. Can't take credit for that. I'm losing it. But more importantly, dude, straight up, just go talk, man. I would say concerts are a really good time to go make friends, man. Don't try to make friends with waitresses. That's always weird, and it will always be weird. Shout out to all my waitresses and bartenders out there. Don't just say, hey, do you want to hang out? Unless you have been there for months and you developed a relationship. Some of my closest friends I used to bartend, that's what I'm talking about this. Some of my closest friends are people that started out as customers and they turn into very close friends of mine. But you don't just go sit down at a TGI Fridays and you think that the waitress is cute and then you want to be their friend. That's not how that works. You need to develop, okay? If you ever want to become friends with anybody in the service industry, either the vibe has to be immaculate, like you two are giggling, laughing, and they ask you to hang out. They ask you to hang out. Don't ask them to hang out. They ask you. Okay, rule number one. But yeah, so I just want to give a shout out to all my little bartenders and servers out there. I see you. I'm still one of you, deep in the heart. But also, hey, that gives me another point. If you want to make some friends, get a social job. Get a part-time job somewhere, at a clothing store, at a bar, anywhere. Just get a little part-time job, and I guarantee you can make friends that way too. A lot of adults make their friends through work. So if you work from home, it's going to be kind of hard. Also, you can be a good neighbor too. That stuff is cool, man. Being a good neighbor. I wish I had a good neighbor. He got mad at me on my first night at this new place. Came over the next morning, said, hey, man. Hey, I'm your neighbor. I said, hey, man, nice to meet you. He's like, you were loud last night. The walls are really thin. I hate this place. I was like, okay, man, sorry. I was stoked. I was just talking to my friends. I was literally talking. And I get it. I probably was talking a little loud. But you're going to come over to my house? First day, dude. My first morning. And complain right away? A little crazy. I'll keep it down, buddy. I'll keep it down for you. Anyway, I just want to talk about that. That pissed me off. Like, bro, I'm pretty quiet, man. I'm a pretty quiet fella. I don't like that. It hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? But I respect it. Takes balls to come over. What if I was 6'8", fresh out of jail, and I had a bad record? I could have snapped. Dude. What if I snapped on him, huh? Talk about a bad neighbor. You could have been missing body parts. But no, I didn't do that. I said, okay, man. Kind of dorky of you, but it's fine. Can't wait for you to move out. Anyway, next question. I hope that helps. With the friends thing. We're really moving on today, huh? This is from, I have to give, you guys are just giving me your real names. I swear these got to be real names. I'm going to call you Infant Glaucoma. So Infant Glaucoma reached out to me, and they said, your eyes can heal pain. This is not a question. I don't think there's advice on that, but we can talk about it for a second. My eyes do not heal pain. My eyes have x-ray vision, and I can see your nipples. And it's my favorite thing about my life. Yours are a little cockeyed, and I like that. And you probably just looked down and you said, how do you know? Because I have x-ray vision. I just told you this. But honestly, I take that back because I did earlier say that you were my child. I do not look at my kids' nipples. Put that on the record. Put that on the permanent record. I do not. My kid takes off their... Put those away, Derek. I'm a good dad. I don't look at my kids. I don't even talk to my kids. Actually, I'm so far away from my kids, I communicate with letters to my children. Like all dads should. Okay, anyway. No, my eyes don't. My eyes just stare at pretty people. They don't heal anything. But if you want to hang out, let me know. Okay. This is a really good one, okay? Again, a real name. I like your last name, so I'm going to call you Al Boner, okay? Let's just say Leahy Al Boner. Leahy Al Boner writes in, how do we begin to unearth who we really are and let go of how the world has who the world has molded us into? That's a pretty good one. First step, accountability. Accountability is the first one. You have to admit that you don't have control and that you're a little goof and you've been molded, okay? The second thing, and I was talking about this the other day, question yourself, man. You should be questioning yourself all the time. All the time. Like, generally sit down and start with like a TV show. Start with a TV show. And the whole time you're watching the show, like, do I actually like this? Ask yourself, do I actually like this? Look at your house and say, do I actually like this? Do I actually like my stuff? Listen to your music and go, is this really me? You have to, I mean, it's a kind of a thing that you have to train yourself. You have to break the habit of having other people answer your questions. You know, a lot of us rely on trying to fit in. So we ask questions like, do you like my wall paint? Should I do this? Should I do this? Okay. And sometimes I do that too. I'm also a weirdo. So like, I kind of always naturally been like, I don't want to do what you tell me because what you tell me kind of sucks. But that's kind of, I mean, that's a tough one. It's probably a different journey for everybody, but my basic advice for that would be question everything, which you should be doing anyway, but question everything. Question everything. And also too, take people off of pedestals. That's a big one. Take your parents off a pedestal. Parents are huge sculptors of our life. And also they did some great stuff too. So, you're allowed to keep some of the things because some of the things they tell you are real and you like them. And that's cool too. You know, we are kind of a combination of all the experiences we've had. So, you know, you can't really just like invent something that you don't know. You know, you can be inspired by things, but, you just got to ask yourself these questions, man. And also deep down in your soul, you're going to have some signals, some signs, some, hey, we should go this way, we should go that way. So listen to that too. I'm going to tell you a quick little metaphor that I love, okay? So basically, excuse me, I did chug a burrito and I had some sodies. So I'm a little gassy. I'm a little gassy right now. But anyway, okay. So you were born with two radios. And when you're born, they're both very, very loud. Okay, they're both very loud radios, all right? And so you turn them down to a listening level, okay? But one of them is your soul, and it's telling you what to do. And then the other radio is society, and it's rational thinking. It's telling you what to do, okay? But we live in such a fun society where they tell you that the soul radio is wrong. Don't listen to that radio, and people start turning it down. And you start learning, okay, well, I'll turn it down. Okay, when you're a kid, it's pretty easy to play with it, right? And then you go into school. Oh boy. And you all got to be the same, man. You all got to learn the same, think the same, and talk the same, man. How dare you think separately? Think for yourself? That's scary. You might do something with your life. We don't want that to happen. How are we supposed to have corporate workers if you all think for yourself and do what you want? We can't have that happen. No way, no way. Okay, so what they do is they go in to your room and they turn. I know it's kind of hard. You're a kid. You can't really defend yourself. So they turn the society and the rational thinking. They turn it all the way up and they turn your soul down. Okay, then you become an adult. And then you're sitting there and you're like, oh man, I don't like who I am. And this isn't the real me. This sucks. And then you go back and you're like, oh yeah, that radio, that's soul radio. Well, I've been listening to this one and this one sucks. I don't want to listen to this one anymore. So you go to turn it down, but the knob's stuck. And you're like, well, damn, I can't turn it down. And you can't turn off these radios. So you're like, oh, that sucks. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and turn the other one up. So at least I have some of my soul. I can still listen to some of my soul. You got to turn it down, but the knob's been turned down for so long, that's stuck too. So it's just out of whisper. And what you have to do is you have to sit close to that soul speaker now and put your ear to it and practice drowning out the noise from the other speaker. It might not seem fair, but pretty soon, if you practice really hard, you really start to hear the soul. You start to hear less of what people are telling you who to be and what to do. That starts to drown out. And with enough practice and enough time, and I'm still working on this journey myself, you start to hear exactly what the speaker's saying. And that kind of goes away. And you get really lost in this world. And you swear, even when you're not next to the speakers, you can still hear what it's saying. So I feel like I explained that metaphor a little loosey-goosey, but I hope that makes sense. So basically, there's two parts of life. There's your soul and who you want to be and who you are and what you want to do, your natural, beautiful self. And then those responsibilities and with societal pressure, okay? And sadly, we live in a world where this isn't really celebrated, but societal pressure and fitting in is very celebrated. But honestly, here's the catch. The reward for fitting in all this stuff isn't very high, but it's easy to do. But the reward for doing this stuff is sky high, man. It's kick-ass. It's lovely, dude. It's tits on a Sunday. It's fantastic, dude. It's cherry cream pies, man. It's pretty good. It's handies at a movie theater and no one calls the cops. Okay? But it's hard as hell to do. But also, that's life, man. If you want to be yourself, it's hard. It's hard to do that. But it's worth it. So the question is, are you willing to deal with it? Are you willing to do hard stuff? Are you willing to have those hard conversations? Are you willing to question yourself? Are you willing to say no to other people? Are you willing to be an outlier? Are you willing to be mocked? Are you willing to do all these things to be who you really are? Because that's what it really takes. It takes courage. And my mom told me this. So courage is not the lack of fear. Courage is when you're scared to death and you're peeing everywhere and you don't want to take a step, but you do. Courage is taking a step forward, even though you're terrified of what's going to happen. That's what courage is. Also, my dog has to take a poop, so we're going to take a quick break. We're taking a break now. It's poo-poo time. I'll be right back. Hey, we're back. Cowboy pooped. I have sad news. So, I didn't realize my camera died. I have it plugged in, but it wasn't fully charged because I'm a goober, and I only got like 18 minutes of my beautiful self wiggling and giggling for you guys. So, little bit of a bummer there. A little bit of a bummer pie. So, I'm saying this now, but you probably realized this a while ago due to the fact that you haven't seen me since like the 20-minute mark. But anyway, I just realized that. So let's take 2 seconds to go like, oh man, I promise. Hey, I'm learning. All right. I'm going to keep this in here just to show you learning hurts, man. Sometimes you screw things up. I'm still staring at the camera like it's watching me. And honestly, I feel like a goober because like, man, I was doing hand stuff. You missed it. I was doing all sorts of fun stuff. But damn, that sucks. But Cowboy didn't poop. I learned this. So lesson learned. See, like everything else I said. You got to learn from these things, man. Everything we're talking about, you got to take lessons from it. So we're not going to cry about it. I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to restart and all this stuff. I'm going to show you right now the truth. The truth is my camera died. I was unprepared, apparently. So we're going to roll with the punches. And now you're going to listen to my sweet voice like you have been for the last 20 minutes probably without seeing me. So, but anyway, hey, at least you got a teaser. All right, the future episodes are going to be more put together than this garbage. All right, I got you. So where were we at? We were at... figuring out who you are. So I feel like I feel really good about that one. I think I made some solid points there. I think it's important, man. Like, are you willing to be happy. You know, being happy isn't easy, man. If being happy was easy, more people would be happy. So that's the real question there. Are you willing to do what it takes to figure out who you really are? So anyway, Lee He Alboner, I wish you the best on that journey. But yeah, question everything. Start there. Question everything. And you're allowed to change. That's another one too. So I hope that helped. So we're going to go over to our next one, which is Space Cadet, who's asking how to stretch my pee-pee ring. So they stretch over time. You have to buy new ones. So if it hurts when you put it on, don't put it on. Put it around your thick little chubby fingers. Yeah, I've seen your hands. Little beefcakes, dude. Would you get those at the Twinkie factory? I'm just kidding. I love you. Put them in my mouth. But more importantly, okay. So yeah, just stretch it out with your hands like you do a t-shirt, you know? Stretch it out, and if it hurts, you know. But honestly, you have to replace them all the time. So just give it time, man. Like anything, to stretch anything, it takes a minute, man. It takes some work ethic. So I hope that your pee-pee ring fits better in the future, okay? So also shout out, though, because if the pee-pee ring's tight, it means you got a dinger. You got a Louisville Slugger down there. So we're all proud of you, man. You grew it all yourself. We're all proud of you. Or if you're a lady with a pee-pee, we love you too. We love your lady pee-pee. What a nice little lady pee-pee you have. Look at that thing. Look at that thing swinging in a circle. Okay, next one. Okay, a few of these are just, I think you're just saying derogatory things towards me, and you're lucky I like it. You're lucky I like it, okay? But I'm not reading that one out loud. But thanks for the compliment about my meat. It's very nice of you, okay? I've had a tough few days. I was sick, so knowing that you appreciate my dong so much is very kind. Again, literally not what this is for, but hey, love is love, dude. I appreciate that. So, okay, here we go. There's another one from I Am Your Grandma. Hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandma. Shout out to grandmas out there, actually. Grandmas are awesome, man. Unless you had a bad grandma, then your grandma sucks and we hate her. But good grandmas, man, they go a long way. So anyway, this is from I Am Your Grandma. They ask, I would love to be in some type of relationship. Casual or serious, but anytime I start seeing someone, I end up pushing said guy away if they don't end things first. I do this because I'm afraid of them pushing me away before I do it first. I have past relationship trauma, and I have never had a positive and successful relationship example in my life, which I know aren't really excuses. Any advice on how I can fix this personality flaw? Well, you're already on a good journey because you called it a personality flaw, because I was about to point the your fault finger at you because it is your fault, man. It is your fault. But honestly, it's not that bad. So I used to do this too. And I actually look back at those times and I'm grateful that I'm not with any of those people. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise, man. So if I can give you any advice is don't date anyone. You're not ready for it. You are not ready for it. Generally, I don't think you were ready for a relationship until you don't want one. And then you'll find somebody special. You know, that's kind of how it goes. Yeah, you have commitment issues, man. You have the same thing I had for the longest time. You didn't want to not be enough. And so it's easier to end things than allow someone to tell you you're not enough for them. I get it. That used to terrify me. I've heard a lot of really beautiful people by leaving them. They weren't expecting it. Like I'd be happy in a relationship, but secretly I was falling apart. The cracks would start to show. And I would leave and I'd break up with them. And again, it was always all about me. I was always worried about me being hurt. I was worried about me not being enough. And I became the one thing, which sounds like you are too. And it's okay, man. You're allowed to do these things. You're allowed to grow from them. As long as you choose to grow from them. Don't repeat this process. That's why I recommend don't dating. But you become the one thing that you're terrified of. You're terrified of someone saying you're not enough. And all you do is you break up with people and you abandon them. So when you turn into your own demon, when you become the thing you fear the most, take a sit back. Take a step back, dude. Don't date people. They don't deserve that. So that goes to anybody. So if you're someone with major commitment issues and stuff, you're not going to fix it in a relationship, and you don't deserve to be in one. And it's okay. That's literally okay. It's a responsible thing to do. And I'm not saying forever, but you need to learn to love yourself. And how you get over this is by learning that you are enough for yourself. The problem is, I'm going to ask you a pretty serious question right now. Do you not think you're enough? Do you not like yourself? Do you think that someone would leave you? And if they did leave you, it's because you're not enough. You didn't do enough. You didn't say enough. You weren't good enough. There are other people better than you. Do you think there's someone out there that your partner would have that's a better person than you are? Do you think that? You probably do. And maybe some other people who aren't I'm your grandma think this too. And the only way that goes away, okay, and the thing is, it won't go away forever. It won't go. That's not how demons work. It's not how the worst parts of you work. You don't ever get rid of them. You just learn to manage them. Okay, I've said this before and I said it again. You're the boss of your emotions and your feelings. You have to learn to be a good boss. But more importantly, you have to learn to love yourself. And I know it's cliche, but you have to be wanting to date you. If you want to date you, then you're good, right? If you can lay in bed and go, yeah, I'm pretty kick-ass, I would date me. I'm a good partner. I respect myself. You'll be fine. Because when you get to that point, if someone were to leave you, it's not that I wasn't good enough. Because you are good enough. It's like, okay, they didn't realize what they had. Or it just didn't work out. You know what I mean? I feel like I wish I would have explained that a little bit better first try. But basically, when you get to a point where you'd be willing to date yourself and you like yourself, then you don't need that person to confirm or deny that you're good enough. It becomes way easier. That's just someone you love. And you'll learn to let go a lot easier. And you'll understand, that you're good on your own. Because once you're good on your own and once you like yourself enough to be alone, people can't hurt you as much, man, because you don't rely on them to prove who you are. You know who you are. So you're just sharing who you are with somebody else. It also makes you a better partner. Because when you're constantly worried about being good enough or someone's going to leave you, you're not being real with them. At least that's from my perspective, from my understanding of my own life and my own feelings on this, from my experience. But I have a question for you too, maybe put you on the spot real quick. Yeah, I wish you were here so I could ask you these things, but I got to start doing these in person, man. I'd love this. But do you see yourself, when you date somebody, do you change? Do you start to pick up their hobbies? Do you start to watch more of the movies they like? Do you start doing the things they want to do and you don't really share your opinions and you act like you like it, but in reality you really don't? You just want to like it so that they like you more? Well, congratulations, you're being a bad partner, okay? So how it should work is you should support your partner. If like they like something, you should be stoked that they like it. And if you don't like it, you don't conform and start doing it with them. I mean, you could do it sometimes to support them again. They really love arts and crafts and they want you to do it with them sometimes, sure. Join in and do it sometimes. But if you start picking it up and it becomes your favorite hobby ever and you really don't like it, you're being a poser with the one person you're supposed to be honest with, man. And so what it should be is where it's two beautiful people who know a lot of beautiful things and you share that with one another. You don't take from them. You don't conform into them, because that's what it should be. You should love somebody for who they are and they should love you for who you are. And that comes with them liking and disliking things that you like and dislike. So that's kind of a big sign. So if you're constantly trying to pick up the hobbies of the people you love, or you're trying to, let's say, like, for instance, I dated a chick who, she was a cowgirl. She liked horses. I became a cowboy. I learned how to rope, dude. I wanted to buy her horses and stuff. I wanted to buy myself. I literally wanted to become a cowboy. I don't like cowboy stuff. Do I look smexy as hell in a cowboy hat and my jeans? Yeah. Do I still own boots? Yeah, because they're great work shoes and I look great in them. I am not a cowboy. But when I was dating her, I wanted to be a cowboy. But the fun thing is, she liked me when I wasn't a cowboy. She didn't date me because I was a cowboy. She dated me because I was me. And so that's a big thing too. And that goes to show that you're enough. If you see yourself changing for somebody, there's two things that are happening. A, your partner is now losing the person they're dating because you've changed. You're not that person anymore. Or B, you're dating someone who's controlling and they want you to change, which isn't cool. The only thing you should want your partner to really change on is things that hurt them. You want your partner to go stronger emotionally. You want to help your partner figure out how to navigate their hard days. Those are the things you want to change. You don't want to change their passions. You want to help their passions come true. You want to help their dreams come true. You don't want to change what they're dreaming of. And so that's a really big one too. But yeah, I actually really love this though. How can I fix this personality flaw? I like that. That's accountability, man. And I feel like you're already on this journey. If you're asking me questions like this, you're ahead of the game. And that's a beautiful one to ask. You're already understanding why you're doing it. You want to change. You're reaching out for change. I think you're a lot closer than you think you are on getting over this, but don't date people for a long while. Go kiss strangers, sure. Hook up. Do it if that's what you want to do. Like if you're a flesh lover like I am and you like looking at belly buttons and have permission to spit on them or whatever if you're weird and wet and kinky. But my main point is just don't get in an intense emotional relationship because you can't handle them right now. And getting in more of them is not going to make it easier because you're going to develop more guilt. Okay, so take a step back and learn how to communicate slowly. I said this is a really good time to learn how to be a better friend too. So when you step out of relationships and when you go through breakups and stuff, take it as a time to learn to be a better friend. Because learning how to be a better friend will ultimately make you a better lover as well. Because your lover should be your best friend. And to be a best friend or have a best friend, you should be a pretty damn good one yourself too. So that's another beautiful thing that comes out of stuff like this. So take this time to focus on other relationships that aren't so emotionally intense, like dating. Spend more time with your friends. Ask your friends, what's something you always wanted to do? Can I help you do it? Hey, is there anything I can help you with? You know, call a friend, like a random person, and be like, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. How you doing? You know what I mean? You could do a lot of beautiful things. And all these things are going to teach you a lot as well. So I would recommend that. My friends and my family are a huge reason of the man I am today. And I honestly feel like I've finally got to know them and finally let them know me in the last few years. Before then, it was all smoke and mirrors and just faking it, hoping to be enough. And through being honest with them and through being myself, I learned that the real me was far much more lovable and just better than the whole thing I created. So that's another one too. By being honest and being open with the people I loved, it helped me learn that I was good enough just the way I am. And that's true confidence. True confidence isn't putting a mask on and feeling you can take over the world. True confidence is saying, I don't want a mask because you better look me in the eyes. That's what it is. And I think that's quite beautiful. So I'm wishing you the best, man. That's a really beautiful question. I really, really like that one. So the last one for today, okay, is from Gooby Gooberson, the Leaky Goblin. So the Leaky Goblin, Gooby Gooberson, asks, how to be more social and less afraid of men in general. I need to know and understand men so I can fit in, I guess. That part confused me. I have a tiny brain. I'm bad at English. Shout out to my speech impediments when I was a child. Slowly realizing that I didn't really get over them as much as I thought. Shout out to John and all of you out there who like to call me out on the things I say. You really make me feel good about myself, but you're actually helping me grow, okay? I'm taking my self-consciousness and I'm turning it into proper English. So anyway, the Leaky Goblin. So how to be more social and less afraid of men in general. Okay, so I'm going to be real with you. 99% of people do not want to maim you, take you, hurt you, or any of that. They don't want to do that, okay? Dateline, the news, you're terrified of the world parents, your friend who's afraid to go to Walmart to talk to a stranger, all these people, they brainwash you into thinking the world is bad, okay? I used to be terrified of people. I used to think everyone's a liar and a cheater and everyone's mean. Turns out I was actually just mean and I was a liar and a cheater and a coward. So, oops. You know, I generally think the way that we see the world is kind of projection. And I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I don't know you, Leaky Goblin. But it's pretty like across the board that the way that we see the universe and the way that we see the world is how we see ourselves deep down. And I'm not saying this means that you're a scary person or that you do awful things. But maybe you're just a very negative thinker. And maybe there's some parts of your personality that just don't shine as bright as you want them to be, so you see the world a little dull. So maybe I would take some time to, figure yourself out on this one. And I know that might sound confusing, but the world is not out to get you. You're out to get you. You make up 1,000 more boogie monsters than there is even boogie in the world, okay? I've traveled this country, and yes, I'm a social person. I like to smile at people. But I learned pretty quickly that 99% of people, they want to see you happy, man. People want to be around happy, fun people. There's a few turds out there, but everyone knows they're a turd. Everyone hates the turds. So the rule of life is don't be afraid of fellow humans. You should see them as comrades. You should see them as people who are kind and helpful. You should see them as possible friendships, possible lovers. You should see them as beautiful people who can help your story grow and you can help their story grow. That's how you should see the world because the world does work that way, man. It's not all like movies. Dear God, is it not like the news? Okay, you realize they can only fill up an hour with all these stories, and of course they're the worst ones possible, but there's a billion things happening all day. So there's a lot more good than bad. But being afraid of men in general, men are pegged as scarier, yes, because men tend to escalate things. I understand that. Okay, as a man, we are known to have done some pretty bad things. Women can do some pretty bad things too, man. But I would like to stick away from the terrified of men thing and more of a terrified of human beings, because the last thing the world needs is more. This side is bad. This thing is bad. These are all bad. Humans can be good or bad. So make this a human thing. Honestly, it might make it easier on you too. Because a woman can stab you too, man. Girls can get stab happy. They can. Yeah. Yeah. So, but men, of course, on paper, I mean, they do more. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, men tend to be way more violent. Okay, I understand that. But not all men are bad, man. There's a lot of really good men out there. And, yeah, so I'd focus more on that. Okay, but the number one rule is, dude, and this is a life lesson for all you guys out there. Please work on your sketchometer. And what is a sketchometer, okay? If a person is sketchy, avoid them. Literally run away. I will run away from a sketchy person. I'm walking in the Walmart parking lot, and I see somebody shaking, being a weirdo, and yelling. I'm getting in my car. I'm not going to Walmart that day. Okay? I'm walking down a street. Somebody's wearing a hoodie and they look really freaky and they're hiding their face and their hands are in their pocket. Other side of the street. Someone's got crazy eyes. I leave the establishment. You got to work on your sketchometer, man. Don't be afraid of the world. Be afraid of people who are sketchy. And before you come at me like, but what about the smooth, charming guy who's going to take me to a hotel and tear off my arms and dance with my blood and then send photos to my family? Okay, you're not lucky enough to be on Dateline. You're not that special. Sorry to break it to you. You're not that special. No one wants to break into your house and take you. You're not a princess. Sorry to break it to you, dude. This goes for all you guys. That is 1 in a million. You're not that, okay? You're not that. You didn't even get a raise this quarter. You really think you're that special that someone's going to risk prison for you? Come on, get it together. Get it together. You're not making the news, babe. You're not making the news. Calm down, okay? Honestly, if you think that you're going to be murdered all the time, bit narcissistic, to be real with you. Hate to break it to you, but a little bit narcissistic. Oh, I'm so special. People want to kill me. They don't. They don't even know you. They just want to get broccoli at the store. They don't want to wear your skin. It's not that good a skin. You know what I mean? So, like, that's another fair point to you, too. So, yeah, 99% of people aren't that scary, man. When it comes to socializing and talking, you got to learn by fire, man. You got to have those moments where you say insane stuff, dude. I'm a pretty good talker, mostly because I'm Italian and insane, so I just like to talk and I don't care. But, dude, you don't know how many awkward conversations I've been in that I started, that I am wholly responsible for. How many complete failures at human connection I've had to get to this point. Because social skills, it's like anything else, man. It's a muscle. You have to work it. And to do anything, you're going to screw it up, dude. You're going to do weird exercises. You're going to look at a girl you think is cute and say, hey, can I bend your meniscus backwards and poop in your butt? And they're going to be like, what? And you're like, I was trying to say you're cute. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to say awful, weird things, but you have to be willing to take those hits. So I say this all the time, and I was saying it earlier. Anything you want to do, literally anything, you want to have better social skills, you want to have a better body, you want to do all these things, you have to be willing to put the work in to fail, to look like an idiot. If you're not willing to look like an idiot, and you're not willing to have people not like you, and you're not willing to sit in bed and cringe at the things you've done, you are not going to grow, you're not going to achieve your dreams, and you're not going to do anything you want to do. Because you're being a weenie baby, bro. You're being a little teddy bear, and you're not a cute little teddy bear, dude. You're being like a teddy bear that a dog humps. You don't want to be a teddy bear a dog humps. You want to be the dog that humps teddy bears, guys. And all it takes is, like, think about it, right? I'm actually making a really good point here. When a dog is humping a teddy bear, it does not care that the whole family is pointing and laughing and that you're filming. It doesn't care at all. It's getting its hump on, bro. Screw that little teddy bear. I'm going to do what I want. You know what I mean? I'm humping right now. I feel great. Okay? Don't be the little teddy bear crying for help that no one's listening to. Okay? Be the dog. Have fun. Look like an idiot and have fun. Hump your little heart out with consent. This conversation, I mean, this is a totally theoretically. Do not hump things that do not give you consent. That's wrong and foul of you. Don't do that. Only hump things that are begging you to. Please hump me. Yes, that's how the conversation should go, by the way. Let's do a little crash course into how you should make love with somebody. Hi. Well, hello. Can I hump you? Please hump me. Then you hump. If any of the following things are said, absolutely not. No. Leave me alone. I'm calling the cops. You have a restraining order. Why are you here? Ted, we just worked together. Don't make this weird. Hey, I'm married. Any of these things, these are just some examples, but anything that has any little hint of like no, I don't want to know, I'm uncomfortable, go away, quit your job, move out of the state actually, never talk to them again, honestly move to a different country, okay? Because you should only put your hands and sleep with people if you have 1,000% yes, okay? Like to the point that you don't even need to ask. Because they're looking at you. They literally wrote with Sharpie on their belly, fill in the blank. And then they have a sticky note over one of their holes that says blank. Okay? It should be that obvious. Anyway, I don't know how we got here from teddy bear humping. But basically, yeah, if you want to be social, you got to be willing to be awkward and terrible at it, dude. You got to be willing to be just the worst talker of all time. And then you might grow up to be a good talker. So, also too, I'm going to say this all the time. Go to concerts. Is not talked about enough. You want to make friends? Go to concerts. Maybe find a girlfriend, boyfriend? Go to concerts. Want to have fun with your friends? Go to concerts. Want to learn how to talk to people? Go to concerts. And it's easy. It's music, which everyone likes. You're at a show, which everyone likes. It's a big public setting, and it's normalized to communicate with people at a concert. It's normal to cheer with other people. It's a huge societal event. So go do that. Go to concerts, man. It's also a great experience. So even if you suck at it and you have a terrible, like, your conversations go terrible and all that stuff, you're still at a concert, dude. It's still dope. It's still cool. So, like, that's another way to ease into it, too. I would recommend all the time. Concerts. Okay? Yeah. And also, too, like, again, all this stuff kind of does stem from, do you like yourself? If you like yourself, then you're not going to be worried about conversations. If you like who you are as a person, it's going to roll off your back. So that's my recommendation to pretty much anything in life, is look in the mirror and like what you're looking at, man. Inside and out. If you're able to sit there on a couch and make yourself laugh and giggle with yourself or have a serious conversation and have a healthy conversation, like you screw something up and you're able to sit there and be like, okay, all right, this isn't the end of the world. I screwed something up. What did I do wrong? Okay, we got it next time, buddy. We can do this. Let's keep trying. If you're not able to have those conversations, stuff like that yet, you're not able to navigate your emotions yet, none of these things you guys are asking me should even be the problem. That should be the main focus that you should do before any of this other stuff is tackle you. Tackle you before you tackle other problems. Okay? Does that make sense? So anyway, I need to tackle this whole camera problem, but I'm proud of me, man. I made 20 minutes of camera footage, more than I ever have when it comes to my podcast. And I actually made an episode. I have been so bad at this, and I think it's just because in my head, let's be honest real quick, in my head I imagine a beautiful production. But in reality, I'm just me and I'm just learning. So I'm going to humble myself and let myself know I'm in my learning phase right now. So you're here for it, and I really appreciate you being here. And I hope you enjoy this 20 minutes. But I'm going to figure out a studio space because I want it to look better, and it's going to take time to figure it out. But I want to be more consistent on this stuff, dude, because this is fun, and this is healing for me too. And I like having it, and you're my child, and I can't abandon you anymore. How am I supposed to be your second dad, and I'm just as bad as the first? That's not cool. I mean, I'm cuter, but that shouldn't even be you shouldn't even worry about cuteness when it comes to parents. That's kind of crazy. You're a creep. You're creepy, and I love you. Anyway, so give me that forehead, little cutie pie, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. I'm Sam and Pink. This has been the Urban Stepdad Podcast, and we're going to bangarang to that beautiful, sweet gospel music again until, for some reason, I probably get in trouble, and they're like, you can't use this, and then I have to, like, find a song. What are you eating? What did you possibly just eat? Okay. Anyway. God. I love you guys. What a fun one. The next one will be fully filmed. Mark my words. Fully filmed. And if it's not, you can spank me with your webbed fingers, you little frog freak. Okay. Love you. Bye.